Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. As always, Scott Carson, excited to be here with today. Wanted to spend some time today diving into this tape of 40 non-performing first liens that we got from one of our hedge fund connections. They send us stuff about once a month, sometimes twice a month. They send us a list of some multifamily duplexes up to like a 48 unit across the country that we're breaking down probably in the next episode. But I bought from this guy, I guess about 10 years I've known this cat. And he's a seller of his own stuff. He's also brokering stuff. He's actually brokering his tape. So don't have pricing. Don't give me price expectations because these are kind of all over the place to give you a bit of an idea. And it's 40 notes. I think there are some opportunities in here, definitely for some folks to make some money on. I think there's some stuff down here you probably want to avoid. These are all severely distressed in a lot of cases where the earliest or the least amount of months they're distressed is 10 months. And some go back several years. So the first thing I want to do is kind of, if you're listening to this, thank you for listening. Keep listening. We'll try to break it down as best as we can so you can follow along. But you probably want to go back and watch the video aspect of this. So click on the link in the podcast episode down below to actually click on and watch the original video. And that'll take you over to our YouTube channel and be able to watch it there. Okay. But if you're watching this on LinkedIn or something else, if we live stream it, hey, thank you. Make sure to comment and ask your questions. We'll be glad to, I monitor the questions. So feel free to type in your questions, ask questions, or save your questions to the end because we'll probably end up answering as we go through this because we do this pretty regularly. So to give you a bit of an idea map-wise, these things are a little bit, pull up the batch geo map, as you can kind of see here, they're, a lot up in New York, New Jersey. You got something up in Vermont, Massachusetts, a couple in New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Mississippi, a couple in Georgia, a couple in Florida, Kentucky, one in Texas, and one out in California. All right. So some are not so bad areas, and some you just want to not even waste your time with, right? So let's pull up the tape here, and we can start diving into that and sharing what it looks like. Now, here's the thing, is when you look at this tape, here's exactly what I got. All right. Now, if you're in our base camp group, our monthly membership or WC membership, which you can get signed up for just $97 a month at noteumbrella.com, you'd had access to this list. You'd be making offers already on this list. I get people that respond, oh, can you send me the list? I'm like, I'll send you one, but I'm not going to send you the full list. If you're buying for your own portfolio, great, but we get too many joker brokers out there. So the only thing that I've done to this tape is refiltered it and resorted it by state. Okay. So you can have a bit of an idea, but these are all individual notes spread out between Madison, Landhome, FCI, and I think that's, just those three servicing companies. And the disposition, kind of where they're at in the process. Demand letter sent, BK 13 dismissed, complaint filed, complaint pending, demand letter sent, foreclosure sale complete, foreclosure sale date sent, which is good. Foreclosure sale date to be determined. There's a hearing, judgment entered, judgment granted, judgment pending, referred to foreclosure, and referred to foreclosure as well. Okay. So what does that mean? These are all in distress. When I see these things, you're probably going to end up foreclosing on these. That's the way I look at when I start seeing these things. The occupancy, it's a mixed bag of occupied and vacant or unknown. The legal balances on these range from 10,000. That's legal balances. Okay. So 10,000 all the way up to 2 million. So that's basically UPB plus late payments and all that stuff. So you get the addresses, city, states, that give you a bit of an idea in the breakdown. One in California, one in Connecticut, 2 in Florida, 3 in Georgia, 1 in Illinois, 1 in Indiana, 1 in Massachusetts, 1 in Mississippi, 1 in North Carolina, 2 in New Jersey. Let's see how many are in New York. 1, 2, 3. 18 in New York, 1, 2, 3, 4 in Pennsylvania, 1 in South Dakota, 1 in Texas, 1 in Vermont, and 2 in Wisconsin. Okay. Some of these, obviously, the borrower's name, some of these are occupied, others are some passed away, like the estate of. The UPB on these range from 6,200 unpaid principal balance up to just under 1.5. BPO's value on these range from 45,000 in value up to 2.36 million. Okay. The paid to date, though, this is where it gets a little hairy. Some of these date back to 2010. No, 2005. Wow. Yeah, 2005. That one's in Brooklyn. Doesn't surprise me. So that's almost 19 years since they made a payment. Yeah, who would live in a house for 19 years, even in the state of New York, to be able to foreclose out? We'll get to that a little bit later on. Okay, original balance. These note interest rates range from, let's see here, from 2% all the way up to 12.75. Regular monthly P&I payments on this are anywhere from $149 a month up to just under $8,000 a month. And the maturity dates on these are all across the board as well from, from 2014 all the way up to 2058. Okay, so that's all the information I have. I don't have like full 12 months of payments, obviously, because they haven't paid. There's not necessarily anything like that. BPO, do I have values on these? Let me check on these. I do have BPO values. We did talk about that. So you have basically enough information to kind of look at, okay, if we know we're going to go to foreclosure on these, we're not really worried about them reinstating these loans as they're so freaking far behind, right? So let's first give you a bit of an idea. Let's first filter what we don't want to look at. And that's the most important thing. What do we not want to look at? Let's just go ahead and select the New York assets so we can kind of delete those and we can talk about those for a second. So New Jersey, New York, here we go. All right, so New York assets on these. These have some higher valued ones. We've got a couple where the legal balance is $1 million, 1.6 million, 1.56, 9. Yeah, so these are the bigger values, 1.2. They're, Bronx, Brooklyn, Cheektowaga, I can't even pronounce it, Elmont, Glen Clove, Hollis, Helion, South Ozone Park, Syracuse, West Babylon, and Moreland, New York, and Woodside. All right. These are going to have the most, pay to date on these is 2005 is the earliest one. Yeah, these are all very heavily in a big distress. So I'm just going to get rid of these. All right. Not really wanting to waste my time, especially for my students to waste time on this. Now we know some folks like, oh, I'll buy in New York. Okay, reach out to me. All right, so we got rid of the ones in New York. All right, let's look at the rest of these. Okay, so that narrows the list down. We got rid of 16 just like that, or 15 just like that. Okay. Now the ones I'm probably more interested in, I'm not gonna really. The New Jersey ones, they're both occupied, so it's got to go through a foreclosure process. And one is judgment pending and referred to foreclosure. So I don't waste my time on the ones in New Jersey. Yeah, get rid of those. So if they were vacant, I would probably refer them to my buddy John and Veronica up there, because with vacant properties in New Jersey, you can foreclose faster. But since they're occupied, you're probably going to have a borrower dragging down. Okay, so now we're down to 21 of these. Let's see here. Let's look at the one in Kerman, California. The legal balance is $297. Demand letter sent. BPOs $350. They paid it to September of 2021. So that's not such a bad. Interest rate's only at 3%. Okay. So that would not be so bad. I don't want to reinstate that thing, obviously, but since they're basically, as we sit today, 3 years behind, that gives you enough to start. And let's look at their foreclosure. So this is the demand letter has just been sent, and they filed bankruptcy in 2022. I'd be willing to bet we'd want to look at more information on that one. We might leave that in, but let's see what this property looks like first. It may not be something we want to even spend our time on. All right, so let's go over here to our batch geo. So we can kind of see what it looks like as we dive down in here. This one is outside of Fresno, California. Oh, Oh, it looks like it's a farmhouse. Oh, no, no, no. It's not a farmhouse. Well, maybe it is. It's all farmland. Okay. Well, let's drop it right here if we can't see exactly where it's at. Oh, yeah. Is that an orchard? Yeah. Okay. So that's where we're at. All right. So let's do one other thing. Let's go back here. Let me go pull the address for that and see what it is. All right. So this one, 123225. Fresno Airsoft Arena. Okay. So it's got a house on it, a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, built in 1961. It must be, oh, it's a Fresno Airsoft Arena. So that's what it is. It is. Yeah, so it's got a, they say it's value of around 618,000. Will give us the acreage. Probably not. Yeah. So, okay. So, single family home with detached 2-car garage, 40 by 70 shop on just under 10 acres. Okay. All right. No photos, but it was built in 61. And so it's 10 acres outside of Fresno. Looks like if we go back to our overhead view of this place, yes, it's 10 acres. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. You know, you've got a not pellet gun, but paintball. That's what it is. It's a paintball course out in the middle of nowhere. House, shop, and 10 acres. Okay, well, that might be something to think about since you got all these other orchards around and farmland. Huh. That might be interesting. Okay, well, we'll go back to our spreadsheet. So maybe we don't get rid of that because it might be worth something just at 10 acres alone. All right. So they set that out. Somebody filed bankruptcy. He's probably been discharged. Legal balance is 297. They say the value is 350 on this, so it may not include everything in the land, but that's okay. So we're going to leave that one in there. Okay. We're going to leave that one in there just for the heck of it. Let's do a quick dive. A lot of people like the Texas stuff, so we're going to go back to the map and we're going to take it out and look at the Texas one real fast. This one's outside of Lubbock, about Brownfield is about an hour south of Lubbock. Lubbock is Texas Tech. Yeah. This one's in the main area of downtown of Brownfield, so it's not smallest of cities. This is vacant. Legal balance is 80. Let me drop our little guy out in front of the house. Yes, we can. Boom. Yeah, so it's this house right here. It's a little red brick house. And this is photo is taken from Google Maps of 2023. So this is a year ago photo from June of 2023. Let's see here. Let's see a little bit closer. So it's probably, yeah, it's got, I mean, it needs some work. It's probably old. You get the gate has fallen down over there. All right, let's go back to our spreadsheet, try something. Let's go see if we find anything else on that one. So we're going to go down to the Texas here. We'll run some numbers in a second. So legal balance is 80. It's vacant. Foreclosure sale to big difference. So this you're basically buying something to foreclose on. Her UPB was 52. It's worth about 100. She stopped paying in November 2019. 6.6. Yeah, it's vacant, so it's more of a foreclosure. Legal's at 80, so maybe you pick it up at 40. Who knows? Let's go back here, see what else we can find. Okay, so here it looks like it's an older photo, 1005 East Lawns, Brownfield. Probably a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square foot. Let's click on images. I don't think this is it. If I click on this, yeah, see, it's pulling up different photos. So it's not a 1/4 acre lot, built on 76. You know, it's vacant. Maybe we can get a realtor to go out and take a look at it. Okay, so that might be something to take a look at, depending on days on market, but you're going to foreclose on that one. Okay, so we're going to highlight that one in yellow as well. Stuff to maybe. Now, would I do a foreclosure if I live across the country? I live in Canada? Probably not. I don't know how long it's been vacant, but it's probably been vacant for a little while based on that yard, that tree being so big. Okay, but it could potentially be something else. Let's look at another one here. It's kind of the faster ones. If we look at the ones in Georgia, okay, let's go back to our map. And since these have been such non-performing, why am I spending more time looking at the assets than I am like running numbers? Because I can run the numbers pretty fast on these. Condition is going to make the biggest amount of difference. So this is one's, both are considered occupied. This one is up in, it also looks like it's on some acreage. Yep, 9395 Callis Mill Road. It's occupied. Legal balance is 160. Okay, so we have to drop our little guy here. Oh, well, that might not be too bad. It's on some land as well. When is this photo taken? This photo is taken as of October of last year. Okay, so somebody's living on this little pink house. Can we go down the road and get a better view? Back in the woods. Okay. So that one's not so bad. So let's go back. That's the one in Lula. Lula, Georgia here. 9395 Callan Mill Road. They owe 161. It's occupied. There's a judgment pending. Remember, Georgia's a pretty fast foreclosure state. There you go, state of Larry Hulsey. So it's families living in it. If it's occupied, because the state, so the borrower stopped paying. And they say it's worth 250. Okay, well, maybe. Legal balance is 160. They stopped paying 8 years ago. It's at 5%. Okay. Let's do one other thing here. 9395 Kalispell Road, Control C, copy. We're going to go over to just right with Google. Maybe they've tried to sell it. Who knows? It's currently not for the 1,800 square foot house. Is a family 9395. Okay. Okay, so here's one. It says it sold on August 11th, 2022, 33,509. So that's probably either a second lien, or back taxes sold on the thing. Because going back here to our spreadsheet, yeah, paid it 2016. Okay, so let's do this then. Let's go into our Lucky Netter Online. And let's see here. What county is Lula, Georgia in? It's both Hall and Banks counties. Okay, well, let's do here. Well, let's go to Hull County. Didn't pop up there when I was searching on Metro Online. Okay, Hull County. All right, Hull Assessor. Click on that. It's going to redirect us. Okay, yep, I agree. Search by location address. We're going to paste that in there, the address. 9395 Mill Road. We're going to search this. Okay. Parcel April and A. Satterfield or out of Cleveland, Georgia, or Halsey Spears. Satterfield and Spears. Yep, it's a different name. Okay, because if we go back here to the spreadsheet, it shows Halsey, right? State of Blair Halsey. Let's go back here to our Metro Online. It's on some acreage, 1.59. Sometimes we can see when it's sold. Oh, so it was sold to family. Death certificate related, so they inherited in 2022. That's what it is. Okay. So Corey Halsey. It's interesting. It goes from Corey Halsey. What am I looking at? Okay, so it shows on here. Looks like they deeded over. I can't tell what kind of deed. A related individual or corporation. Sale date. Okay, August 11th. So it's family member that owns it still. That's the most important thing. Let's look, see if there's any taxes owed on this thing. Yeah, owner. So it's family owns it. Yeah, it's still family owns it. Okay, so that still could be a foreclosure. I'm looking at it's applied for a homestead application. Yeah. Okay, let's do one other thing. Let's look at the taxes owed. All tax commissioner. Accept it. Yeah. Paid. Okay, so it's still owned. So it still could be all right. So going back here, property taxes are paid up to date. So I don't know what that sale was that was showing there. Maybe it was they had to, oh, you know what it probably was? They probably had to show something to the family they were buying it for something like that. I don't know. Maybe they paid the family $30,000. Okay. So the note is still due. They didn't do a payoff on it. You would definitely want to pull title on all these stuff as part of your due diligence. But that's a potential deal on that one. If it's worth 250 and UPB payoff is 160, there's about $90,000 in equity there. Okay. So if you bought that at 80 cents on the dollar, so 160 times 0.8, it means you're paying 128. If it sells at the auction, guess what? You made 32,000, 33,000. If it doesn't sell, now you own a property that's worth 250 give or take a little bit. Who knows what kind of condition it is, but hey, that could be potentially a profitable deal. So we'll leave that in there. Let's go to the other properties there in Georgia. I mean, I don't know how big it is, but it's on an acre. It might not be too bad. Kind of rural. It's north of Atlanta by about an hour. Oh, let's go to the ones that are further south Georgia. This one is in Albany. This is don't know if it's occupied. Balance is 86. Albany, Georgia. It's a little bigger area. That's a property. This photo is probably taken from last year, June of 2022. Okay. Oh, look at that big house there. It's not, unfortunately, it's this one right here. Oh, it's not a bad looking house. Yeah. Okay. Looks like a nice neighborhood in Albany. Okay, let's go back to our spreadsheet. Look at that one. Albany, Georgia. So this is 614 Mercer. We don't know if it's occupied or vacant. Foreclosure sale complete. So it's basically an REO. Okay. What am I paying? Okay, foreclosure sale complete. Well, let's look and see if it's sold at auction anytime soon. The lender's basically holding it as an REO at this point. 1,800 square foot house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square foot. So that's making puts it at 91. Built in 71 is on 1/3 of an acre. Any sales history? Well, let's go to the county. So we can't go to the county website. Oh, that's typical. Okay. So what counties is in Albany, Georgia? Over at Georgia. County. Oh, let's ask. Daugherty County. So yeah, we're not a robot. Thank you, computer. Success. Okay. Copy address. See what it gives us here. So it says 1,128. So Benton Thomas, Benton Thomas, Benton Thomas. Still the same borrower, so maybe it hasn't sold yet, but maybe it's in the process. Who knows? Okay, so that's a good thing. Let's go back and let's highlight that one, because same thing on that one. It looks like it's occupied, but we don't know. So if you bought that, legal balance is at 86. You bought that at 80 cents on the dollar because there is some equity on this one, because it's worth 94. Not much. Not much equity. All right. So on that, I would probably offer, 86.94. That BPO value is hard to, it's not really a big difference, only about $8,000 difference. So let's just do 65 cents on the dollar, 80 87 times 0.65 means I'd offer 56, 30 grand. That's not so bad if it's a foreclosure. Hopefully it's in decent shape, but we could go from there. So, all right. That's not bad. Let's go to the last one in Jessup, Georgia. This is over. Yeah. So Jessup is south of Savannah. This was it's outside of the Jessup, but it looks like it's in a housing. Oh, maybe not. It's got some acreage. It's hard to tell. Let's go drop our guy here. This looks like it's on some acreage too. Outskirts of town. This is our house. Here it is. Okay. So it's got American flag. Let's go over here and take a look. This photo was taken September of last year. So it's literally right at a year old. Okay, let's do one other thing. Let's look at this. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, hang on, everybody. Let me go pull this up. 140 Richard Street, Jessup, Georgia. It says it's occupied. They owe 34,000. It's worth 150, and they stopped paying. This one's only 10 months behind. So this one might be worth. Yeah, you try to work it out because what's there? This one might make more sense for a mod. We're going to highlight this one in green a little bit. But I mean, the fact that you can foreclose quickly, this one is the demand letter's just been sent. Okay. And it's Georgia, so you're going to be able to foreclose pretty quickly if they don't respond. All right, 140. 1,020 square foot house. Built in 1960. Yeah, looks like it had some work done. It's about a quarter of an acre. All right, so that's okay. Let's see, what county is Jessup? Wayne County. Okay. All right, let's see. Tax assessor. If they're 10 months behind on mortgage payment, they're probably behind their taxes too. Okay, we just had it. Unpaid. Let's view. They owe 176 bucks, but it's still Melvin Mobley, and he still lives there. So it's owner occupied. Okay, so let's go back to the spreadsheet in this one, because this one, if we look at this one, he only owes 30 grand. Okay, got a ton of equity there. 100 grand in equity. His original balance, his monthly, he's only got a 3% interest rate. I'm like, come on, man. So we look at this way, $228 a month. It's kind of skinny. So let's do 228, and he's 10 months behind. The writer's a year behind. What did I say? Yeah, so he's paid to December and then stopped paying as of January. Yeah. So he's roughly about a year behind. So let's say if he starts making double payments times, just say 24 months. in his first year. So he brings in 5472. Now, what would I pay for the note? Okay. So the 5472. Legal balance is 34. Okay. Now, 5472. Write that down. 5472. And if he owes 34, 126 times 0.8, let's just do that. Means 27.3. All right, so we take 54.72 divided by 27.3. That's a 20% cash and cash return there if you can get it for 80 cents on the dollar. Of course, if you don't, then you foreclose, you're in at 27. Before quickly foreclose there, yeah. If it sells at auction, you're going to pay. So it's kind of a skinny deal to foreclose. I think it makes more sense because even 27, you might need to get a little better price than that. Maybe you offer 20 for that one. See what they accept. Okay. So let's go in here and start putting in. Let's start putting in some offers on the stuff. Insert. Does that make sense? He only owes 34. He hadn't paid in just under a year. 228 a month. I mean, it's not that biggest thing, but that's why you've got to offer 20,000 because it's such a low monthly P&I payment. It's only got a 3% interest rate. I mean, he should be. Heck, you could probably collect claims at $200 a month. Now, I don't know what happened with him. He's still the owner and pays taxes, but it could potentially be a deal in a lot of stuff. Okay. All right. So those are the Georgia ones. We've looked at the Texas one. Doesn't look too bad. It's vacant. We looked at the California one is at 10 acres outside of Fresno. Paintball park. Let's look at the two in Florida. So we'll go back here and look at the ones in Florida. All right. Let's take it out. Let's see what they look like. So two in Florida, we don't know if they're occupied or vacant. This one down in Ocala. Legal balance is 561. It's a nicer looking house. If I remember correctly, it's on a corner. It's a 2-story house. Oh, no. Let's look here. Let's drop it here. Yeah, this is it. Yep, that's it right there. Fence in backyard. I mean, it's a nice looking house, huh? Whoops, what did I do? There we go. That's not so bad. I mean, that's a current photo, if I remember, from last year. Maybe is it this year? Google Maps says it's from June of this year. So this is from 6 months ago. It's obviously occupied, right? So let's go back to the tape, the numbers. What's the numbers tell us? So this is Ocala. All right. So this one is occupied. It's referred to foreclosure. So they haven't started the foreclosure process yet. 561 is the legal balance. BPO is only 395. That's the thing. So they owe more than what the property is worth. They stopped making payments. Oh my gosh, they haven't made the payments. What? 2014. Okay, that's yeah. So since they owe so much more than what real, let's make sure the value on this. Let's just search because sometimes their values can be way off. Back to just do a quick AVM. Zillow says it's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's worth about 380. So maybe it is worth about 390. So they're upside down. All right. So offer, since you're going to be foreclosing on that one. Now, the nice thing is somebody would ask me is, am I worried about hurricanes? And the answer to that is, yeah, a little bit. But it's farther enough inland, you're not going to get flooding. You're basically going to get some wind. It's, I've had friends that live in there. Ocala is not too bad. So if you can afford the insurance on it, yeah, I would go back. Yeah, I'd offer 6. Let's do offer if it's valued at really that 395. You know, 561, just do 65 cents to the dollar. See what it says. 395 times 0.65. So 256. So we'll just say 250 on that one. I would want to, yeah, you know what? We should probably look at the back taxes. If they haven't paid their mortgage. All right. So what county is Ocala? I think that's Orange County, but let's double check. It's Marion County. Okay. So we still got Metro Online pulled up. We're going to change it from Georgia to Florida. We're going to go over to Marion County. Oh. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's look at the Marion County tax collector. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Search by tax account number. All right, so it's an ROO number. Okay, that's fine. So let's just go over here and find it then. Don't know tax account number, so we'll look at the Metro Online for it. Or sorry, we'll look at, we might have to go over here, searching the appraiser's district first. But let's go down here and see if it pulls up in Zillow. Sometimes Zillow will have the, the APN number. Okay, remember it starts in an R, so we want home details. Go down here, see more facts and features. There's a parcel number. Okay, maybe, let's see here. Search by, oh, there you go, property address. Duh. Okay, so the address in this thing is 1003 Southwest 40th Court. Okay, and there we go. Catherine Rue Randolph. Unpaid. Oh, we got tax. Oh, it was so he had a $3,000 tax certificate that was redeemed. 2008 unpaid. So basically, she only owes $2,000. Okay, that goes back 2000. Never mind. So she owes $2,000 in back taxes. Yeah, I mean, I'd want to know why they haven't foreclosed on this thing yet. For sure. Yeah. Why haven't they? So we would highlight that in yellow, but it gives you an idea. Yellow's not too big a deal on that stuff. So, okay, great. There's one, and let's go to Venice, Florida. Now, Venice, Florida has a BPO value of 561. Don't know if it's occupied or vacant. Borrower last made a payment in 2008. This is what concerns me, is that's 16 freaking years that they haven't made a payment. Why haven't they? Is the note been sold and bought and sold? They owe $1 million. It's only worth 561. So you're obviously going to go off the BPO value, like 60 cents on the dollar, depending on. Now this one, it's hard to tell if I remember correctly. I've looked at this one. It's on an acre or two of land, if I remember. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's go back to batch here so you can see what I'm talking about on the overage side. I'm not the overage side, but yeah, see, Venice is down here by Sarasota. Northport, Cape Hayes, it's kind of in between Sarasota and Fort Myers. Or, yeah, almost half. Yeah, just a little, almost halfway. Yeah, Bradenton, halfway between Bradenton and Fort Myers. I've driven past this area before. Okay. Okay. So you see, it's kind of the outskirts of town, so it's inland, so it's not right on the water, but it is in kind of a community, and it's kind of over. You know, can you drag your guy here? Now you can't really drag anything. So by the river here. That's it right there. Okay, so let's go back. Let's see what we can find. So 970 Brent, it's a 1,700 square foot house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Yeah, this is the overage. It's on, got a pool. It's on an acre, 1 acre. Okay. Here's some photos from the an older listing. So it looks like that's the outside of the house. It's got a pool. It's right along the river. Yeah, 970 is here. Okay, so it's basically two. Yeah. Okay. 2009. So three bed, 3-bath, 1,703 square feet. Okay, so that one I'd want to know why they haven't foreclosed. What's the servicing issues with it? And judgment entered. Okay, that's a good thing. Its foreclosure is coming up. If it's a judgment's been entered, then you're working through a foreclosure date. Okay, so on that one, I would offer just 65 cents on the dollar. Same thing. It's 561. Legal balance is $1 million. So value is 561 times 0.65. So 364 is what I would offer on that one roughly. Okay. If we go back to this one in Kerman in California, VPO value is 350. They owe 297. So I would do that one probably at 80 cents on the dollar. $238 for the acreage in outside of Fresno. Albany one didn't look too bad. They owe 86, but it's worth 94. So I would just do 65 cents a dollar that one. I mean, they have $8,000 in equity. That's not a lot. You got to protect yourself. The estate of Larry, this one in Lula, Georgia. Remember we looked at that one? Doesn't look too bad on the 10 acres. Legal balance 160. It's worth 250. So they got some equity there. So it's equal to that times 0.8. Yeah, 128. So you'd have $32,000 in profit if you get the legal balance. If not, you take the property back on those. And then if we go down here to the one in Brownfield, that little red brick home, it's vacant. Legal balance is 80. It's worth about 110. So let's just do the same thing. It's equal to that times 0.8. 65. It's only a $15,000 difference on that between what is owed. So if it sells at auction, great, you make 15 grand. If not, you take it back and now you sell the property for 110 and make 45 minus repairs. Take a look at repairs. Okay. All right. A couple more here. We've been rock and rolling for a little while, which is okay. Let's take a look at, not a fan of Wisconsin because the property taxes are a little difficult, but we look at the photos on it. Where do I think? Let's look at this one in New Canaan, Connecticut, just for the heck of it. Legal balance is $2 million. 2 million. UPB 1.4. They last made a payment 7 years ago. And original balance was 1.1. BPO value is 2.3 million. Okay, let's go and see what it looks like. What does a $2.3 million house look like in Connecticut? We go for Florida. We're gonna go all the way up here. New Canaan, Connecticut. Okay. Oh, it's right on this. It's on the state line from New York. Literally right on the state line. It's like it's the second house. Wow. Okay. Let's go drop it. Boom. 1769. Is that our address? I think it is. 1769 Owen Oak Ridge Road. A Krishna Sanita. I don't know if that's an Indian name. Oh, whoa, what did I do here? This is the house. Okay. All right. Gated community. Let's go over this photos taken probably recently. June of last year. Okay. So let's do one other thing. Let's see if we find any other information about this place. Here we go. Now we've got photos. New Canaan, Connecticut. Images, 1769. Okay. Maybe that's it. 1769. All these are kind of right around there. It's hard to tell which one's it. So maybe it's not it. It's on 2.3 acres, single family. The fact that you get values over this, I wouldn't necessarily buy this one because somebody's stayed in it pretty smart. And probably delayed. It's a whole lot of money, so I wouldn't waste my money on that because for what I could buy that one, I could buy like 60 others. You know what I mean? So no to that one. Actually, we're going to do that. But we're going to actually highlight that one in red. Waste your time. Okay, so let's look at one more in Indiana, Lexington, Indiana. This one is the legal balance is only 10. This might be a good little first one to get the ball. Judgment pending. It's occupied. Dan Hyde. They only owe the UPB 6,200. They paid to April of last year, so they're a year and a half. The original balance is 22. 10.48%, $149 a month. Okay, not a lot. Occupied. Let's go to Lexington, Indiana. So Lexington is south of Indianapolis. It's north of Louisville. Yeah, let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I mean it's not or a lot. Somebody's lived in it for a while. This photo is from March of last year. So we can go down the road and look behind here. Yeah, March 2023, July 2021. So you can see in time. Yeah, same guy on this. So he's got a little. You have a colored carport. Oh, you just got. There we go. That's what it is. Garage, carport. I mean, it's not a bad looking little property, right? This is Lexington, Indiana. It's out in the middle of nowhere a little bit. Go back to our spreadsheet. 6277. It's occupied. Judgment pending. 149 a month is nothing. That's really too low unless you're going to use your IRA. That's what I would do. Fund that in your IRA. Because basically, if the UPB is 62 and the legal is 10, you want to make it worth your time. So, 6 grand maybe. Let's look at and see if he's up on his taxes. Lexington, Indiana. All right. I guess if it helps if I pick the right city. Only 980 square foot, 81 lot, 3-bedroom, 1 bath. Built in 1960. Oh, there was a notice of sheriff sale in January. Okay, so maybe he was losing his taxes. Scott County. I can remember that. Maybe it's not Scott County. So it says it's in Lexington Township, Scott County. Okay. What is wrong with this then? Indiana. Oh, let's see. Yeah, it's probably in Lexington. That's strange. It's not giving us the ability to search for it. So let's go to Nature Online itself. My directory to Indiana. Oops, it's Illinois. And let's look for Scott County. Okay, there we go. All right, so we'll do the treasurer. Dan and Brenda Hyde. They've paid it. Man, they've lived there for a while. That would be, yeah, I would want to work that out with them. I mean, they only owe, yeah, they don't owe anything. Oh, that goes back. There we go. So they bought this back in. You don't owe anything. So they owned it for a couple of years. Okay. So that would be one. Yeah, that's tough. If you look at 149 a month minus your 25 a month for servicing, making 124 times 12. Divide that by 6 grand. Well, That's a 24.8% return in your IRA. Yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, I try to work it out with them. Going back to the spreadsheet on this one. Yeah. $6,000. I mean, it's not, look, if they don't pay, you finish the foreclosure, legal's 10 grand, 11 grand, you make 5 grand if you foreclose your IRA. That's a pretty good return. If they don't, then you end up making it. I mean, that's a pretty safe investment for your IRA. I would look at that one. Definitely. All right. We'll do one more, let you guys go. So 4548 Lake Hill Drive in Kitawah, North Carolina. And let's go back here to our batch geo. I mean, that'd be a great little starter. I think it's a pretty safe deal for your investment to do something good. Yeah, why not? This one's occupied. Legal balance is 60 grand on this one. Oh yeah, this is a farm. No, this is a nice looking house. Oh, it's not mapped. Okay. Yeah, this is basically okay. So that's all right. So new share. Let's go back to our spreadsheet. All right, this one in North Carolina, 4548 Lake Hill Drive. They owe 59 is the legal balance. It's referred to foreclosure. It's occupied. The value of the property is 133, and they paid to January this year and stopped paying. 6% interest rate, $370 a month as a payment. Okay, this one could potentially be something you try to reinstate. Oof. 4548 Lake Hill Drive. It looks like it's a mobile home on land. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 960 square feet. Yeah, you can kind of see it's been on land. Okay. No data. Come on, give me some data. It's on 3/4 of an acre. Yeah. Okay, well, let's look at one thing. Sometimes these counties might actually have a photo of the property. Occasionally we'll get lucky with that. Oh, this pulled up here. Okay. $14. Sandio Pits. Flat book. Any photos? No. Septic. Sometimes we can get, I guess not. They still live there. They live there. So that one, let's go back to the spreadsheet on that one. That one would be a potential mod, I think, just because they're not too far behind. Unless I want to own a mobile home out in that rural of an area. It's almost too rural for me. So legal balance is 59. It's worth 133. So we borrowed this. If we bought this at 80% of 60, so 60 times point would be 48,000 roughly, give or take. They stopped making payments. We get them to get back on track. So we say 370 a month. 0.68. We forgot. Let's take out the non-performing aspect of it. Would be in a non-performing, so $90 a month out for it. So minus 90. So 280, and they are behind by 10 months as we hit this day. 10 months. So 20 times 22. 6174. Divide that by, or was our number 48? Yeah, divided by 48,000. That's a 12, it's a 13% yield. It's actually a little bit greater than that because if you get them back on track in 3 months, it should convert them to a performing note. And then your costs go down. So yeah. So it's about a 13, 14% yield at that. Now, if they don't pay, then you foreclose and then you take it, pass it back. Maybe you offer 45 on that one to get over that 13. That's a kind of a skinny deal, but hey, you never know. It could be a pretty decent deal because then if you bought it at 45, you're kind of, you don't really have a lot of room to sell it. and make a profit on the note. You'd hope they refinance it because what's their interest rate on this thing? The interest rate is at 6%. Yeah, they're not going to refinance anytime soon. Yeah, if you don't, yeah, I'd have to take a look and see how rural it is because you got some equity there. If you bought it at 45, they didn't sell, took it to the foreclosure auction, you're going to collect 60. If it doesn't sell, now you have a property worth 133. And it looks like it's a mobile home on 3/4 acres of land. Okay, so that's a possibility. Now, I don't know if the ones in Massachusetts, Lansing, Illinois, we had somebody asking about that one. Let's just look what it looks like, shall we? Where is my Bex Geo? There we go. Oh, I had it up here. Anyway, these properties are not looking that bad. I mean, some need some work. I would honestly probably wouldn't touch the Wisconsin ones. Once 2011 hasn't paid, once 2020, once 2016. This one, what the hell? Let's look at the one in Pennsylvania, 131 Jeffrey, because this is one that just stopped paying in 2022. It's kind of maybe potentially a mod or a reinstatement. Got too many things. So see, this is out in the middle of nowhere too. But this is listed on the MLS. Oh, okay. So this one, it's 5 acres, 4-bedroom fixer upper, 4.7. Ranch home has a desirable open layout. Are they joking? It's been on the MLS for 140 days. Okay, let's look at these photos. We got 40 photos. This could be a good. All right. So obviously, there's the layout. Okay, so it's basically a double wide, overlooking land and a pond. Okay, there you go. So now we have interior photos. Yeah, normal. Okay. Normal double wide. Whoa, a checkered. Some like sunflowers. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. Oh, you get a washer dryer, a front and lower included with the property. Yeah, so you just need some. I guess that's the shop. That's the built-on shop. It looks like. Okay. Living area. Ooh, look at that mud. Somebody track some mud in. Now that is kind of nice. They're overlooking that 133. Okay, you get the extra trucks with your stuff. You get a little metal shed out there. See, that's not a bad. Oh, that's what it is. That's a above ground pool. Yeah, baby. You got a pool and a pond. That's that's kind of picturesque. Pond and the pool. There are worse things on that one. Okay, let's go back to what does the realtor say on this thing? So it's listed for 138. 138. This one. So BPO value is at 190. So they're trying to sell at 138. They're just trying. Yeah. Okay. So they only owe 65. That's what I would do. 65 times 0.8. You don't need some work. That's 52 grand. This isn't occupied, it's vacant, right? 131. Hope that was the right one we were looking at. Yeah, that's 133. Wait a second. I get too ahead of myself. 133. Oh, 131. Yeah, we might be looking at the wrong one. That was 133. Damn it all. Let's see. Ooh, never mind. Yeah, that may not be it, but never mind. Well, I always got to double check the addresses, people. $131, hit images, see what pops up. See, 133, 133. Yeah, let's get the overhead view. Yeah, there's nothing out there. That's kind of strange. Well, maybe it's this thing right here. Hang on here. Let's look at my batch geo one more time before we say good night, because at least we'll have an overhead. Okay, so this is in it's in Pennsylvania. That's it. All right, let's take our overhead, our satellite view. I don't know, man. That's hard to say because it doesn't really recognize that there. If it's this one, but this is 133, not 131. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to check the county and check taxes on that thing to see what it is. All right. So, yeah, not so bad. Could be worse, but hey, guys. So, I mean, that's what you do. I mean, you dive into these notes, you look at them individually, you see if you can't find something that makes sense, and see the story behind the story. Like that one in Langston, Indiana. It's somebody's lived in a house for 4 or 5 years. Something happened where they can't pay. Find out what they can't pay. Look at the servicing notes. What's going on? That's the great thing. All three of these servicers, FCI, Madison, and Land Home Financial Services, should have some sort of service history. What's going on with the borrower? They're not responsive, and going from there. So, guys, if you're interested in diving into it, I apologize if you listened to that episode. You're probably like, oh, never mind. I got to get off of this one. But if you watched it, I think it was valuable for you, hopefully. If not, let me know. As always, guys, our WCN crew, our monthly membership gets access to tapes that we upload. This is one of them. And for $97 a month, you can log in, take a look at it, plus get replays, access to a lot of other great stuff is there for you. And it's the biggest bang for the buck in the known industry. So always valuable. Go out, take some action, everybody. And we look forward to seeing you at the top. If you have any questions about this, feel free, shoot me a message. I'm always glad to help answer. And we'll see y'all later.